Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. It's a totally different angle right now. I'm at the little desk where the brother machine is because I'm going to be putting a tag together, which now that the kid let the thing was on pause waiting for me to press start because the girls were here and then their mom came, so they left. So I got distracted for a few minutes and had to come back in here so that I can start what I was doing. I'm getting the other video started so that I have comments. Anyway, so it's a little bit darker right now in this mode, but as soon as I turn the camera around, because I'm going to flip the camera so that you guys can watch how the brother machine types out, not types out, stitches out the monogramming that I'm doing so that I can make a tag. I'm not making a corner tag this time. I am just making a flat tag, which you would find like on comforters and so on, and blankets and stuff, or clothing even. I'm making a flap tag. I already interfaced it. I was going to do it while I was on, but like I said, that everything was happening all at once, so I would have had to pause the video anyway. So let me grab this real quick. So it is the same as my backing fabric. It is a black. Let's see if I can't maybe bring you right here. I don't know how well this can work right here. Anyway, oh, look at that. I'm right here. Anyways, so it is the same black as the back of the quilt that I am putting the tag on, which is this one. I finished it. It was on the long arm for a few days because I had went on my little trip. This thing is heavy. And the back is this. And I used the thread so that the stitching can all be seen on the black. I know some people don't do that. They like to match the back with the back, but so this is called a flip tag. So I stitch on it and then it goes on the end after I stitch and flip, and it gets inserted, and then it's just like any other tag. So I'm going to make the tag before I do anything. The binding was already pre-made over a year ago. It's probably like 2 years ago. I actually made this disappearing 4-patch in a video live stream. It's one of my older videos, so the sound or something is probably not that great and the video quality is not that great, but there is a video on making the disappearing 4-patch, and it was made with was it made with charm squares? I think it was made with charm squares. So yeah, so here is a 4.5-inch piece of fabric, and it has really thick, I forgot the size now because it's up in my box, but it has a really thick interfacing on it so that it makes it really stiff. I like my tags to be really stiff. So I'm going to turn the camera around to face the machine. I have most of the letters started. What I do on this machine is I write everything down, what I'm going to write on the tag. I write it all down, and then I find the corresponding letter. That way I don't have to put the letters in as I'm going. It's just so much easier if you just write it down, put the numbers, and then just follow the number order and enter them instead of having to look up at the thing, then think of the next letter and then look up at the thing and then spell something wrong. It just makes it easier to 100% write it down. I have not wrote down the name of this yet because I named this quilt celery sticks. Yeah, I know that's a weird name, but Scott says, oh, that is definitely a Tiffy name for a Tiffy quilt. So this is 4.5 inches by 8 inches for now. I'm just going to try to center everything and see how it turns out. This is how I make my tags. Like I said, I'm going to turn the camera around so that you guys can watch. And I should have brought something over here so that you can have a further angle of how I enter everything, but I don't know where I'm going to even do that from because I have a big, huge stack of fabric next to me that's supposed to go for junk. Let me try to move it somewhere else. So here's my big stack. It needs to go out of the way for now, temporarily. Okay, temporarily out of the way. So let's go right here. Look at that, guys. I know I'm dark, but as soon as I flip the camera, it won't be dark. Oh, hi, Joe. Hi, Terry. Hi, Kim. So I'm a little on the slower side when it comes to doing things, and I'm sorry that I'm in the darkness. I don't actually have a light on this side of the room. That's why it's always bright over there and not over here. But the machine has a light itself, so you should be able to see that. Again, I'm going to start doing this I'm going to do my Tiffany Groff quilting designs on one side. So I'm going to start that, and then I'm going to write the name celery sticks on the other side with the date, which would be, I'm just going to put May of 2020. So hi quilting for the soul, or Sarah, right? Yeah, that's right. I have to remember these things. It's so hard. So I'm going to turn the camera around now so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me put it right here. There's my closet full of junk. Camera turned. Here we are at the brother. Hoping you guys can see this really well, and you can see that I'll be entering numbers right here. Let's see. Right there should be the angle. And hopefully I can stitch this out. So again, I write everything down before I start entering it. And I'm going to do one word at a time because that makes less stuff to have to pick out. Hi, Suzanne. I am doing good, guys. I'm just tired. Blah, blah, blah. You know, typical me since I'm still sick. I am using the same color thread that I used on the quilt itself. And I'm going to start on this edge right here, about a little bit more than half an inch away from the edge. This is folded in half. My crease tells me my lines. I'm going to start my words up at the top of the crease. I know you can see that. My words are going to come from the top of the crease, and then I'll do a second line, and everything else gets trimmed after I put my words in. So I'm just going to hold that down, and I'm going to start entering my numbers. So you can see up here, I know you can't see the screen, but I know that you guys know what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to enter my numbers. So oops, nope. Let's put it on alphabet first. Duh. All right. So let's go. Here we go. 1 letter. 2 letters. A 1. Oops. 14. So this is the process of using monogramming. And then 25. So I'm going to start now, and I'm just doing the word Tiffany first. You guys can see how this works. So this is how it types out. Let's see if I can't hold the camera. Touch the screen so it focuses. So this is how it types. And then it ties it off. And then I just press needle up. I'm going to stick this down again for 2 seconds so that I can pick this up and show you guys. So it typed out the word Tiffany, see? And I have to snip out all that, which I'll show you how I do that. All right, so now I'm just going to take this, move the thread out of the way because I'm not even going to detach the thread. I'm going to line it up to where my next word, which would be my last name, comes down about a quarter to 3/4 of, no, a quarter to a half an inch away. Line it back up on this line. That's how I know I'm keeping straight. And now I'm going to put my last name in, but I have to delete all the last letters now. So now 07, 18, 15, 6 and 6. And that will be my last name. So it's just going to type it out. I have to hold this. If you don't hold it, it's just going to veer off the fabric. Hi, June. I'm okay. I went on my little mini vacation, and I got hurt a few times. Grand Canyon turned out to be closed. The M we saw, we thought meant May or Monday, the 18th, because the date was the 18th. And turns out that they were closed, and the Grand Canyon is actually closed indefinitely until further notice. So that kind of sucked, but we did get pictures and stuff. I haven't put the video together yet because I had to finish the quilting on the frames. So All right, so what I did was I snipped away threads and now it has my name. And then I'll show you how I trim away all that excess, the letter connectors, because they annoy me and I do not leave those there. So now I'm going to put the words Quilting Designs underneath. So now I kind of line my foot right where the end of this last wording is. I delete all of those letters again. I'm taking a drink of water real quick. Hi, Sue Ann. Yeah, this is a late night one, but this is not an Insomniac episode. This is just me tagging and binding. The Insomniac episodes will come back on soon. I got to get caught up on other stuff before I finish things that I started, because I'm kind of really behind and I'm still really on the slow side thanks to my medicine. All right, so let's enter these numbers. Okay, it's 17. I'm going to just hold it in my hand because it makes it easier. 21, 9, 12. Like I said, it makes it 100% easier to write these things down before starting. 20, because that way I don't have to sit and dig up here at the top of the machine on the number thing. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 9, 14, and 7. So this is going to put the word quilting in now. I always put Tiffany Groff Quilting Designs or quilt piece quilted and made by Tiffany Groff, but that's corner tag stuff. When I do these flap tags, I usually just put Tiffany Groff Quilting Designs on it. Makes it easier for me. Okay, as soon as that's done stitching out, I lift my needle and I'm just going to slide it over to put the word designs down about a 1/2 inch-ish, somewhere between 1/4 and a 1/2 inch. You know, it's not really whatever. I try to make them close enough to where it still looks good. Now to add the word designs. So 4, oops, add 5, add 19, 9, 7, 14, and 19. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I count too to make sure that there are 7 letters, because I have a few times had to go back and delete everything up to the letters. Someday, when I can afford it, I want an embroidery machine so that I can do cursive letter tags or cute things and make my own personal tags. Make a ton of them, and then all I have to do is fill out the date every time, like a date area or something. All right, so this should be the word designs. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to snip thread so it says QUILTINGDESIGNS. My name is spelled correct. Everything is correct. So this is how this side looks. And then I'm going to turn it around now like this. And the opposite side now over here is going to say the name of the quilt and this month and year, just a month and year. And this quilt is called Celery Sticks, is what I named it. Even though it's a disappearing 4 patch, I'm still calling it Celery Sticks. So I'm going to line it up about where my S ends on this last one. See? So now I've used this much of the tag. So I'm going to line it up right down here to write the words Celery Sticks. But now I got to figure out what those letters are because I haven't got that far yet. So I'm going to go ahead with a piece of paper and my pen, and I'll write the word celery. and then sticks. Like that. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to find the numbers. So we got 03, E is 05, L is 12. And the letters on here actually in order from like A is 1, B is 2, if you know what I mean. E is 05, R is 18, Y is 25. So yeah, R is 18. Okay. And then sticks, let's see, S is 19, T is 20, I is 09, C is 03, K is 11, and S is 19. So that's how I do it. That way I can just enter the letters and I don't have to worry about trying to spell it while I'm entering it. So let's get rid of the last amount of letters. Is that denim? No, it's quilting fabric. It looks like denim because it's really thick. It has interfacing on the back. That's how my tags are thick on there. When they're on the quilt. So that way they don't bend and fold and get all funky. All right, let's write this in now. So we got 3, 5, 12, 5, 18, and 25. See how much easier this makes it? Just writing it down first because, yeah, to me it seems easier. So let's go put the word celery real quick. I know it's a weird name for a quilt, but that's how I name my stuff weird things, you know. Is a disappearing four patch, but I don't want to put disappearing four patch because that's the name of all disappearing four patch. I name my quilts. So you use interfacing which one? It's in the I'd have to go up and get the box. It's really up there. Let me see, and I'll look right now. Because it's above my head. It's just really high on the shelf. This one is the interfacing that I used on this is the Pelon 911. I knew it was something like that. It's a thicker one. It's 911. All right. Delete all those. So let's put sticks in now. So 19, 20, 9, 3, 11, and 19. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. All right. So let's type, or I guess stitch out the word sticks. There's a thicker interfacing that actually works just a little bit better. But since I put it on the whole entire thing, the interfacing, it seems to be a lot better when it comes to thickness. So when it's washed, it doesn't bunch up and get funky. It actually stays nice and flat, the tag, I mean. So, all right. And now we're going to put May of 2020 on here. So May 2020 is all I'm going to type. And those I'm not going to write down. I'm just going to look it up because I'll look up at it and enter it because I don't really feel like it. So there's the words celery sticks on this side because that's the name of the quilt. I know. Funky me, funky names. And now we're going to put May 2020. So I'm going to kind of center it because I know that May is not going to be very big and neither is the 2020. So, all right, let's get rid of this and put the word May. So that's 13. A is 1. And Y is 25. So we're going to put May. Usually I make a ton of tags, which I do have a pile of tags, but I wanted this one to match the back of the quilt. Most of my tags that I have pre-made are white. So, and then all I have to do is add like a name or a year or something on them. All right, let's put 2020 here, which is 33, 31, 33, 31. Look at that. So easy. 33, 31, 33, 31. There we go. Now it's going to type out 2020. Hi, Teresa. And yeah, okay. You are feeling better. I'm not feeling better. I got to get things done. I'm still behind, guys. Like, I have to get all those quilts sold, which I think I'm just going to go ahead and post the video on here as, like, instead of a trunk show sale, I'm going to call it a bed show sale, because I did make them all. I did lay them all on the bed when I did that. So, all right. So now what I do is I'm going to take you guys over. Actually, I can just do it right here because you can see. So I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, so see the strings that hold this right here? I stick my tip of my scissors underneath that string right there. Okay, I have to look into the camera to make sure you guys can see. So now see it's hanging up, and then I snip that off. So I just go in. It's kind of hard to watch through the camera to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. I snip it at the edge, and then I snip it at the bottom with these wonderful snips right here. Hi, Robbie. All right, so, and then I just go ahead and snip all these apart, which takes a few minutes, but unfortunately, I know an embroidery machine would be the same thing. You still got to snip away excess threads. I know how that works. So I have a zapper, but I don't have no batteries, so I got to get some batteries for my little zapper thing that I was gifted. I'll get to use that finally on some of these, because it definitely would be easier to just zap these threads away. So this is all this is, just snipping it apart when I'm finished, as you can see. So I'm going to do this before I get it onto the quilt, because I'm not going to put it on with all this stuff on here. And see, some of the letters are so close, I don't pull away, because I'm not going to try to get that out of there. Between the S and the T, I'm not going to get that out of there. You know what I mean? Some of them are so close that there's no point. But if the letters do, like, come apart just a little bit, I do snip those. And then I snip my little space thing that I made. But there's some that I don't snip, because I don't see no purpose in trying to get my snips underneath that, you know. But some letters and numbers I do. So this is how it's done. So this side's done, and then I'll just wipe it real quick. Pull away any loose threads. So see, now it's readable. It's not perfect. I don't like that the 0 does not connect. That's one thing I don't like about this machine. There's a couple of the letters that I don't like how they stitch out, but unfortunately I can't do anything about it, because it's just a monogramming. And I don't like that you can't change the size, but they don't give a foot, and the hole isn't big enough anyway for that kind of thing, for changing the size of the letters. And they're all capital, so, which kind of sucks too. But so this is how I do this. And again, I'll see the comments in a second. I have the other screen open, but it's on the other side, and I'm trying to snip these away. I can see what pops in on the screen when it does pop up. You see how the G and R that has a really, really tiny piece. Sometimes I pull that, because it just, I don't know. I don't really want to, but I have to snip it, because, yeah. And then O doesn't connect either, which is kind of dumb, but. And I'll show you how I put these tags together the rest of the way, but all that's done. I can do it on this machine too. It don't really matter which machine I do it on, but I still got to trim it down either way. So I just go through and snip all these. So is anybody else doing anything today? Anybody working on something? I'll look at the screen in a second. I'm just gonna snip these real quick. Sometimes I have to like use the snips to pull that thread away. And I try 100% not to snip any of the actual stitching, because if you get the actual stitching, the whole letter will fall apart, which kind of sucks. So you have to be very, very careful with how you snip them, because if you get too close, you'll mess up. So anybody that owns this machine, just know that, because I've had lots of comments on when I posted the video about my little review and my short how to use video on this machine. So it's a pretty, I don't know, it's easy to use, very easy to use once you get used to it. See, this G and N, they are so close. I don't know if I can even get that out of there. And the N and S is just a little bit bigger right here. There we go. So it's all snipped, both sides. I just wipe that away both ways. Takes away all that little snips that kind of got stuck. Like here, the T is a little on there. There we go. So is that I. Fix that right there. Get those little snips under. There we go. There we go. So there's that. So this one side of the tag is my name, and the other side of the tag is the name of the quilt and the month and year. So now let's take it over. I'm just going to turn this machine off because I'm done with it. And put my little paper away, and I'm going to take you guys over here. We're going to trim this first. I'm also going to grab my water in the comments so that we can see. Hi, Connor. I'll just put that right there so I can see. Let's see. Making a mask and going to bed. Made for self-quarantine so far. Keeps me busy. Kim's going to start working on the batik layer cakes tomorrow. Decided to Delectable Mountain Design. Awesome. Working on parasol ladies. I made masks and a quilt block so far for Marlene. Suzanne yesterday finished quarantine quilt number 7. Awesome. All right. So see, my S right here ends and my C right there starts. So since they're pretty much about right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut from this side because I know this side's in more. I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch away right here. I'm going to line my ruler up. I know you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to line the line of the ruler up on the top of my fold. I'm also going to use that 1/2 inch mark right here at my S. I'm going to actually take it just a little bit further. And I'm going to line this up, and it'll be 6 inches in total because I'm going to be folding it over. So this piece I'm just going to discard. I can use it on something else, even though it has interfacing on it. I can still use it for something else. All right, so here's my tag, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to take it over to this machine. So now we're at the Juki. And there's the tag, and this is what we're going to do. Turn my comment thingy-mabobber around. I am going to take this now, and I'm going to put it right sides together like this. Okay. So right sides together. So now you should see the interfacing. It's very thick, so it's a little bit hard. And I'm going to come in. Let's put this about right here. At about a 1/4 inch, probably just a tad bit bigger than a 1/4 inch purposely. Oh, I forgot to put, hold on 2 seconds. I need the thread from the other machine. I totally forgot. I'm using the same thread, so I gotta like go back and forth with it from machine to machine. So let me thread this machine real quick. I'm a moron right now. Okay, so let me thread it. I'm using oops, come on, go in the hole. My thread that I quilted with, it's the Glide. It doesn't say what weight. I think it's 40 weight though. Yep, 40 weight. Just thread this real quick. It'd be easier if this thing was up. Just takes a minute to thread. Since I am having issues threading needles, I just used my little threader thing that I got as a gift. Oh, it'd be easier if that was down. Come on. Come on. Oh, see, I'm issues threading needles. Yep, that's me. All right. And then I tore the thread on the way. Go figure. Okay. Now it's good. I got a bad spool of thread this time, guys. It's my first. I don't even know what to do, if I should call the company or what, but like every few yards, like 3 or 4 yards, the thread has like this weird unravel going on, and it's quite annoying, and it's messing everything up. And yeah, it just keeps getting stuck. So, but I'm working with it either way, frustrated or not. All right, so now what we do is it's folded right sides together. Hi, Pamela. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look at it real quick. The comments. Hi, Sharon. Marlene's putting Charm Baby together. Robbie finished making a wreath. I ironed, starched a bunch of fabric. What machine was you using? I was using the Brother SQ9285. Now I'm over on my Juki TL 2010. Where was I at? In charge of, I said hi to Sharon. Where were we at? Quilting for the Soul. It was a Brother machine. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, it's the SQ9285. It's good to be among you all. I miss live, so I definitely miss it too. So I'm gonna start coming on as often as I feel good enough, so you guys could see more of me. I even painted my nails, so you can't see how horrible my hands look right now. It takes away the look of my hands. And a big band-aid across the top of my hand, which is clear, so you can't tell. All right, so I stitched that, and I'm gonna stitch it again because I always stitch it twice. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn it around now, flip it over because I sew from the fold. I know some people sew from the opening, but I sew from the fold side. And then I'm going to stitch it one more time. And then what I do is I take and snip away this corner right here up to the thread right at that tip. Just like that. But not, oh, the lighting really, really sucks. Okay, can you see that? I go right up to the tip, and I take a lot of it away, just like that. And I do it on both sides. So let's hope it focuses so that you can see. Got a little tangle going on right there. So I come right from the thread, right at that top. And then these aren't really meant for this cutting, but these are the scissors that are next to me. And I really cut it down quite a bit like that, so that we can take this right here, and I'm going to pop it through like this and turn it right side out, just like this. And then I'm going to take my scissors, because they're right next to me, and I'm going to poke that corner out like this. So this is how I make my hanging tags, my flip tags, or whatever you want to call it, instead of my corner ones. You guys have watched me make the corner ones, but this is my flip ones. All right, so now my tag is nice and flat because it was pre-pressed. When it gets sewn on, it'll be fine. I don't have to iron anything, but my corners are poked out just like so. And there's nothing in the way, so it sits really, really, really flat. And I didn't cut the stitching, so you won't have an opening. It shouldn't open at all. So there's that. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit because my writing ends here, and I only need like 3/4 of an inch after the writing, down from the writing, for my stitching part for when I put it on the quilt. So I'm going to take you guys over here. Let's see, definitely call the company. It may be twisted wrong in the spool, and they need to know. Yeah, it definitely was twisted wrong I checked my tension. I ran another thread through and it came out perfectly fine. There was no problem. So then I put this thread back in and it just kept unraveling. So yeah, I was so frustrated, but I still went on. I quilted a whole entire queen quilt with constant unraveling problems. Oh my God. It was just, oh, it's so annoying. So yeah. I didn't know what I should do. I figured I can call the Glide company and tell them, you know, maybe they'll send me a free spool, but I really don't care about that part. I just, the fact that they need to know that this is my first time ever having a completely 100% every couple yards it unravels, and that's never ever happened to me before. So all right, so I've trimmed it down now so that it can go on the quilt and it's not going to hang so far. I don't want it to hang 100%, like, you know, I don't want it to be that far out. It's just, so there's my tag. Here is my binding. It is pre-made so that you guys can see. I pre-made this when I made the quilt a long time ago. So you can see it's pieced binding. So I'm going to be unraveling it anyway. So let's find where, so there's going to be some pieces of this is matching to the whole entire quilt. So we're going to start sewing it on. So it does this. And the colors just change throughout. They're all different sizes. See that? It's really, really, really cool. So it's all the fabrics that are in the quilt, different cut sizes. And some of these will probably end up in my mitered corners because it's just going to end up that way. So I'm going to start by adding this side first, because that way it ends up perfectly. You know what I mean? Because the rest of it is all black in there. So that should be at the end, you know, in my roll. So I'm going to bring the quilt up here and I'm going to show you guys how we do this, because it's a pretty heavy quilt. So it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to put my camera, my talkie thing over there. I got to move stuff out of the way so that we can do this properly. I'm going to put the ruler right there. I'm going to put my other ruler away. And I still want to see comments, so I'm going to just keep that out of my way for now. Throw that over there and bring my binding over to me. And I'm going to put you guys right here so you can watch me. And I need something to stand it on. Let's stand it up on here so you guys can say hi to me. All right. I have no idea right at this very moment what is the top of this quilt and what is the bottom of this quilt. I just know that I need to put my tag towards a bottom. So here's my edges. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the fourth one is somewhere around here. There we go. All right. So this is 88. This quilt is 88 by 102. 102, I think. It's queen. Where did my paper go? Yep. It's 88 by 102. So it is queen. So I'm going to assume that this is my 88 and that's my 102. Right there. So I'm going to grab a bottom, open this thing up, and my tag will go right here. So I'm going to add my tag first. Okay. So I'm going to put the name of the quilt, Celery Sticks, facing up. That way when the tag is flipped, it is Tiffany Groff Quilting Designs. Sometimes I put the Tiffany Groff Quilting Designs on the top when I make flip tags, but this time I'm putting it this way. So I'm going to bring this up over here. Oh, it's so heavy. This quilt is very heavy. Definitely not a summertime quilt. I mean, it could go on the bed in a guest room during the summer when nobody's using it, but it's not, I wouldn't want this on me in the summertime. And that is why I chose to wear my pajamas and a tank top while making this video, because I don't want to get overheated, which makes me feel worse. So I'm going to attach this tag now. I always kind of stitch extra on the edges. And across it. I'm gonna check the, oh, it looks good. So the corners are on there. So see, this tag is not going anywhere. So there's my corner tag. So now I'm going to flip the quilt right here. Most of it needs to be on the table, so I'm hoping I don't block the camera. So here you guys could see the quilting. I just had fun with spirals. Like I said, I had issues with the thread breaking constantly. So looking at the back of the quilt, since I did use the same color that I quilted with on the back that I did on the front, there are areas where you can see where the thread started shredding, how it was unraveled. So you can see that because it was even in the bobbins, which I couldn't tell while I was rolling bobbins that the thread was unraveled because you don't see that. But when it was coming in the machine, I can see from up here. I don't know how you could see. Is it focused? Okay. From when it was coming into the long arm, you can see it started unraveling, and I knew, oh, it's going to break again. So it won't go through the needle when the thread is unraveled at all. It just shreds away, and then it gets stuck, and it just makes a big mess. So watch for that. I've never honestly ever had unraveling issues ever with thread. This is the first ever time that I've had unraveling problems. So unfortunately, it kind of has, I don't know if you can see that if it focuses, but here's like an area where it started unraveling from a bobbin, and it's like shreddy. So I went through with snips and kind of just snipped away like the shredding look of it, but so it can sit flat a little. I'm going to throw it through the wash and hope that maybe a lot of that excess just comes off. And if I need to fix something, I'll just free motion quilt fix it from this. But yeah, it was very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Like I said, I've never had that happen ever. And I've been doing this for 4 years now. So it's like, are you kidding me? It was horrible and annoying. All right. Quilt is lifted up here as best as I can. Like I said, it's a huge, huge quilt. I'm going to grab my binding because I'm just going to start it about right here. Oh, come on. Stay. Stay. All right. Let's see. Oi, there's more. I can't see right away, guys. If I don't catch comments right away, it's because I'm doing a bazillion things here. All right. Definitely call. Okay, they need to know. I saw that. Pamela's good advice. Cool binding. Hi, Teresa. So I have a spool of white glue that is doing the same thing. It unravels and bunches up before the needle. I did same thing. Kept using it and being frustrated. Quilt. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had a problem with glide. I love using glide thread. My machine loves glide thread. And I thought, well, maybe it was just my needle. I changed my needle. And then I thought, well, maybe it was this. And then I changed that. And I fixed this. And I changed the tension. Everything was perfection. And then I quilted on the side of the quilt with a different color. And bam, it was perfect. And like I just kept moving the machine around. I wasn't like actually practicing. I was just fucking around. I mean, sorry for my language. I was just messing around. And it was perfect. I had nothing. Tension was absolutely amazing. I had no thread breakage or anything. I put the green back in, and after everything was reset, and I, redid the tension and put another needle in, and still it kept doing it. And since I've been in the house working, it's doing it. So, I mean, I hope it lasts, and I hope it'll go around this quilt nicely, but let's hope it doesn't break again, because this machine runs tension just a little bit different. So maybe it's not going to pull it, or maybe, I don't know if that was the problem. I don't think it was the problem though, because the other spools, same thread weight and everything, ran just fine. So it was definitely the spool. So it's weird for that to happen. So I'll probably call them and tell them, the bad batch. Oops, it happens, I guess. June gotta go to bed. Dog sitting. He will be up at 3 a.m. because that's what he is used to. I'll watch the rest later. Okay, June, we'll see you next time. Hi, Sue Ann. Hi, Sarah. Sue Smith. Okay, Sue Smith, good evening. I've been listening and reading in the sidelines. That's fine. 9 to June. Hi, Delilah from Arizona. Awesome. Another Arizonian. 9 June. We've had perfect, like, cool weather here. Like this morning, it was super, super cool. Susan, I'm sorry I can't stay awake. It's 12:55 a.m. I'll watch tomorrow. Good night. Okay, Zan, we'll see you. Thanks for coming by. Tracy Louise, Quilts. Hi. Linda. Hi, Linda. Hi, Nita. Oops. Let's see. I had the same sort of problem. I just changed thread because I couldn't get it to work. Well, I didn't want to change thread. I like this green color. It's freaking awesome. It looks really cool on this black. So I like when I use a dark color and in a totally different color of using black thread on a black backing. I like using the other color. I make sure that my quilting isn't completely horrible. Like, yeah, sometimes I'm just not in the mood. So like this quilt was a couple days worth because I took off and I came back, and then some of the quilting is a little bit tighter than some of the quilting because I forgot I didn't forget completely what I was doing, but I was like, how tight was I doing it up there? What was already rolled up by the time I came home from my little trip, and I was like, it just came out whatever. But I just stuck with it, and it turned out okay. Hi, Judith. Sorry, there's a YouTube on how to treat thread with mineral oil. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Hoping my quilting holds. I changed the needle twice, tried different sizes, needle finally rewound bobbins, so don't have to worry about that. It's only the third time I've used Glide. It's beautiful weather, a little break from the heat. Beautiful quilt of the colors. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to start this binding now. So let me find that end. All right, for where my wonderful piecing. And now these are not pieced on a 45-degree angle. These are pieced straight. Some people don't like that. I know, but piece binding is piece binding. Bind a quilt however you want. Obviously, some of these might end up in the corners. I'm taking the chances, but I'm not going to lay this on the floor, go all the way around the quilt and decide whether it's going to land in the corner or not. So I'm just going to start attaching it. I'm going to put this on. Like I said, this was made a long time ago. And yeah, so I'm going to put this at the 1/4 inch, my little guide thing. I'm going to change my stitch length and try not to block you guys. You probably won't see too well. Let's line this up all the way up here. I'll leave myself a tail like always. I'm hoping that it comes out great. And when I connect this, okay, so I know you guys think that this is weird, but when I connect the two, I'm actually going to connect, and I'll show you when I get to that. I'm hoping this video isn't long, but at least you guys will see the attaching of straight piece binding. And I'll show you how to connect binding instead of putting it on the diagonal. So, all right, let's put this under here and stitching. This, like I said, this is a very heavy quilt, so I don't want the heaviness of it falling on the floor. So if I have to push you guys back just a little bit so it doesn't get knocked over. All right, let's get going on this. It might take me a little bit because I'm absolutely pooped, but I will get it done because that's what I do. And remember, same thing with any binding, even if it's pieced, the opening always faces away from the quilt. I'm trying to put it all on my lap and the table, my end of my table right here. I don't have a lot of space. I need more table. My custom table is going to be a while before it's built, thanks to the coronavirus. And nobody can build me anything right now because they're out on the road, helping deliver to all of you. Because my best friend is the one that's going to build me a table. Custom, specifically for my Juki. Yay! I love this. I love that it's going to be fun and inviting, and it will be a for sale quilt. Just to let you all know. I have plenty more to quilt so I can get them for sale, because all the big ones are the ones that I have to wait on batting to do a lot of the bigger ones, because I don't have the batting for King, which is I need 120 inch. So, and I can only buy what I can afford right now. But I will start getting it all done little by little. As well as hopefully this week, not this week, but this next coming week, I'm hoping to start another quilt top and do some live stream. I need to finish CJ's top for the Insomniac series. You guys get to stare at that for a second. I'm probably blocked. Let me just make my mitered corner real quick. I'd show you, but I can't bring the camera in the position in right now. Now I don't have any fingernails now, so everything is by eye and, well, by brain remembering, muscle memory, I guess, brain memory. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this now onto my lap. And that's gonna start changing colors as I go down. Let's just leave that right there so you can see. How many gals here cut binding on 45? I just read about doing it that way. Yeah, the reason why I didn't for this is because the way I pieced it, I liked the look of it. You can do binding however you want. You can do it 100% bias, which is cutting the fabric on the 45-degree angle, or you can cut strips regular from selvage to selvage, and then when you attach them with a 45-degree seam, or you can cut straight seams. When I first started, that's the only way I put binding on. It was all straight seams, and I did 3-inch binding in the beginning. I did really, really big binding in the beginning. Now I do 2 1/4. This is probably 2.5 inches. I actually don't remember because I'm just attaching it, and it doesn't matter because I'm attaching it on the straight, so I don't have to know that number. Cut both ways depends on what effect I want, so it depends on the mood, straight or angle. Sometimes I forget. If pain clogs my mind, I've done both. The article says that, and the article that if your binding gets worn on the edge, it won't make a big hole. Only when I have stripped binding, I do on 45 for my binding. Sue's gonna try doing it that way. I trust all of you. Teresa, same here. I want the strips to go the right way around the edge. Where are the sales posted for your quilts? In the description below every single one of my videos, there is a link that goes to my business Facebook page. You can follow that there. Oh, thank you, Teresa, for putting that in there. The Quilts by Tiff on Facebook, and there's a video that has every quilt that's for sale has a number. You email if you're interested. You email me with the number quilt that you're interested in, and I will send you pictures if you want more pictures. But most of them, you guys have seen me make a lot of those quilts in videos, so you know what they look like. But if you want close-up pictures, I will email them to you. But I need your email address so that I can send a invoice to you to pay for it, and then I'll ship it off as soon as it's paid for, and then you pay shipping. That's the only other thing is you pay shipping. I forgot to say that in the video, but I'll probably be posting the video here. I just don't want to get demonetized on YouTube for putting for sale videos on YouTube, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Has anyone used adding machine tape as foundation for scrap piece binding? It works great, perfect with another done strip binding. Okay, she got that. Yeah, my binding is cut straight, so 45-degree angle. Marlene says I must try tonight. Jack and I have been friends. Just we had 3 rookie mistakes. Oops. That was at Kim. Great work machine. Thanks all. It was awesome. I'll check it out. Oh, now mine. Okay. So yeah. So if anybody wants to own a quilt made by me, there's only 1 king and 1 queen. This will be another queen that if I do post the video to Facebook, then I'll just add this in the end, showing it on a queen bed because it's a queen quilt. but I'm going to wash it first, like I said, because of the way the thread shredded like it did. I want to make sure that none of it comes undone and stuff before I post it for sale. If I don't put it in the video, though, I'll just post it for sale as a regular, because there's quite a few. If you look, some of the quilts in the video are in some of the posts. If you keep scrolling on my page with close-up pictures, if you just keep scrolling, you'll find it. I never put the price. I just put it's for sale. Contact me for more information. So I'm going around the tag right now. So give me a second and then I'll show you how that will lay. So see, once the binding is folded around like this, it's just an edge tag. See that? And it's really hard. It's tough. So it will stay nice and flat like any kind of tag. That's just some big quilts like this. I usually put a corner tag, but I didn't have enough of the backing fabric left over because I used 108 and the quilt is 102 inches. So I didn't have enough left over to make a corner tag. And I didn't want to cut any more fabric off the bolt because I need that for other quilts for the backing. And I want to make sure I have plenty. So I just decided to do a regular flip tag. Made it easier for me. So, all right, now I'm getting to the piece parts. And I'm using the same color thread that I quilted with for the whole entire attaching and everything. And I'm watching it come off the spools also, if you guys haven't noticed, because I want to make sure that it's not going to start shredding. Because I do not want any more issues. These machines all run differently, but I'm pretty sure I have not done 3 yards worth yet, because that's how about it was like between 3 and 6 yards. And it starts unraveling. This could be so awesome. I'm already like super excited to see what this is going to look like. This is one of the heavier quilts. Hey, Mary. Hi, Tammy. Adding tape strips for sashing. Tape strips? I don't know what that is. I was just listening and heard her say it's shredded. I never have a problem. This is the first time I've ever had a bad spool of glide thread. I've never had a bad spool until now. It's the weirdest thing. And no, I'm not yanking this end for beginners. I'm not pulling right here. I'm just guiding because it's so heavy that the quilt wants to shift that way as I'm putting the binding on. So I want to make sure that it doesn't shift as I go, because it really sucks when that happens. And then it makes my binding messed up when I go to flip it. I'm using my elbow as well on the table right here to push this all through. All right, so I didn't end up with a seam so far on this corner, which is good. It's like right next to the corner, but it's not in the corner, so I got lucky. I mean, I'll work around a seam in the corner, but I don't want to. So that worked out perfect. Look at that. And again, I don't really have a fingernail right now. All my nails are starting to grow back finally. I had to get rid of the acrylic that was on my natural nail, but it tore my natural nails, so I had to cut them all down. And I don't know if it's the medicine that I'm on for the valley fever or what, but I itch like crazy, so I've been scratching myself raw, and I got cuts all over from scratching myself. That's how bad I itch. And it's worse than my MS itch. My MS itch I can handle, but this itch I've been scratching. So I took my nails all the way down to the nubs and then I painted them today so that, so that they look sort of decent. This name is a dead canvas. I just love the look of it. Back is hurting. Teresa, I appreciate it. Thank you. I was just thinking of placing an order for glide thread. Okay, Tammy or anybody out there, glide thread is amazing. 100%. I love it. I buy the big, huge spools that are 5,500 yards. I pay $10 for a spool at my local quilt shop. So usually I buy 2 spools at a time so that I can get I'm trying to build a color, so I can have every single color possible that they at least sell at my local shop. Everywhere else, it's like $13 or $14 for this spool thread, but my local quilt shop gives it, I guess, the price that they get it for, I guess. I don't know, but because like Superior Threads had glide and it's a lot expensiver. I like it. I also like Isacord, but I can't afford it. It's a lot more expensive. And what was the other one? Aurifil, I think, was a little bit more. I have to buy what I can afford. I have never had a problem with glide thread until this spool. This is the first and only spool I've ever had a problem with. So you buy it's good. It's great thread, amazing thread. Just it's probably the 1 in a million spools that end up sold that have a shredding problem of this brand. You know what I mean? So far it's doing good right now, but the long arm does stitch a lot faster than this does. And it also has a different tension than this does. So far I'm doing good. We'll see, because I haven't noticed it yet. But it's inexpensive, and that's what I like. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Thank you for the link. Okay, there's a neat serger instructor who said throw the thread across the room and it'll behave. And she's how funny. Your scrappy sashing is the quilting, or the quilting looks so good on the back. Great job, Tiff. Yes, it does. Beautiful with the sashings. Yes, asking about piecing on adding tape. I used the resulting strips in my sashing, very scrappy. Asking about piecing on adding tape. I don't know what that means. I think I'm confused, I guess. Sorry about that, Nita. I used the strips as sashing, very strappy. That's what this is leftover pieces from making this. Tammy and I have used adding tape for piecing, make a good piano border. Okay, now I think I know what you're talking about. Hi, welcome back, Sue Ann. Tiff, did you look at the side effects of my medicine? Yes, there's a lot of side effects actually of all the medicines that I'm on. So combined, and I'm on medicines. Some of the medicines I'm on have side effects that I take medicines for those side effects. So, and then those have side effects too. So right now I'm just dealing with trying to get better. That's my problem. I must be tired. I don't know what you mean, Linda. My son has the strangest thing happen. His pads of his fingers are peeling. Ew, that's weird. See you guys next time. Thumbs up. Oh, thanks, Pamela. See you next time. I have to sew my bindings by hand on the back side. I don't do by hand ever. I will when I do the quilt that I'm sewing by hand. I feel your pain itching part of my life constantly. Nothing's scratch my skin off. No amount of Benadryl will stop it. Yeah, no Benadryl stops it for me either. I have lots of cream that I use though to help, and I take hot showers, burn my skin. Okay, for my MS itch, I take a really hot shower and burn my skin to where I turn red, and then and I scrub myself with a loofah and my sensitive skin body soap, and then right before I get out of the shower, I rinse off with freezing cold water, and then I dry off quickly while I'm shivering, and that gets rid of my itching. But that's my MS itch only. This itch that is not working with, fortunately. Take it back and tell your dealer. I could tell them. I can also call Glide. Never heard of it before, but I don't have a quilt shop either. Sorry for the typo. There's an online shop that has a monthly subscription. Yeah, that's oh my gosh, I gotta think. It's in Canada. They have a monthly subscription. I know what shop you're talking about. How much is it, Tammy? What is the name of the shop? Cream 20 years because of chlorine in our water. My scalding hot water makes me worse. Oh man, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna keep sewing now, and then I'll read the comments in a few minutes. You guys can just talk to yourselves. If it really is important, just do the @Tiffany's Quilting Life thing so it shows up red on my screen, and then I'll know to look. Because I don't want to take too long. Oops. I went too skinny because I was not paying attention. Trying to hold this all at the same time. Stay down. It usually takes me 1 hour to put binding on a queen size quilt when I'm not chit chatting with you guys. So since I do it all by machine. But when I'm chit chatting and stopping and listening or when I'm hanging out with you guys, or trying to keep the camera seeable to me, then it takes a little bit longer. But when I don't have to pay attention to anything, I just put it on. In total, to quilt this quilt, the long arm ran for 2.5 hours. Obviously, it takes longer than that, but that's how long the machine had the on button on. Stitching. And then the stitch count was like 197 or 197,600 and something. I don't remember the number fully, but this has almost 200,000 stitches in it. That does not include some I had to pick out and add after the fact, because before I pulled this off the frame, I had to go back and unpick some stitches. I kept it on the frame and just rolled it back the opposite way so that I can go to the areas that were really bad, and I unpicked them and then stitched them, but I had already wrote my count down. So there's probably 200,000 total stitches in here. Oh, it's not ending completely on the seam. It's almost on the seam now. Oh. Go. Put it on my lap. Dinky there on Tiffany too. Oh, I went too far on that stitch. There we go. I wear my quilting gloves when I sew on binding a lot easier on my hands. Arthritis, you know. Tip of the day. Oh, interesting, Teresa. I don't wear mine. Sometimes I don't even wear them when I'm sitting here free motion quilting. I have the Angela Walters quilting gloves. We were talking about this last night with Becca on Becca's channel. These are the ones I have. They cover just a couple fingers. So one side is really smooth and one side has grippies. And it only covers these 3 fingers, and then the other 2 are out. And I've actually am able to thread the machine using these gloves, so I don't have to worry about constantly taking the machine gears gloves that I have. I was constantly taking those off because you know, when you're free motion quilting, you break thread quite often, but these gloves at least, you know, are a little bit better when it comes comes to that. Definitely easier to fix things and pull on things because they're a little bit tighter on the hands, which is actually what you want in a glove, honestly. But we were talking about that with Becca last night, and yeah, I like the way my gloves are, but I don't free motion quilt much anymore. I have them though for when I feel like it, or when I fix things, when I have to take stuff out and fix long arm quilting mistakes or mess ups, or like this time thread breakage problems. I definitely use my gloves when I need to fix things in the house. I try to fix all I can while it's still on the frame though, like I did this time. So hopefully everything is good, but we'll see. This thing is like super duper heavy, and even on my lap. Gotcha. Buying online from US on the exchange. I've used them and are recommended by the Stitch TV show. She drips it on the thread for her long arm machine also. Now, do they just put it on the whole thing or something, on the whole spool of thread? Like, here's the spool. Do they put this stuff on the whole spool and it just absorbs it? Does it work on polyester? Because Glide is polyester thread. It's poly wrapped poly core. So I don't know about, you know, because polyester is smooth as it is, and cotton is very messy. Like these are very, very messy. So these are like, I don't run these through the machine because they make a super mess. These I keep in here, even though they still make a super mess and I have to breathe it. But is it just poured on it and it absorbs it or something? The special stuff? I know I've heard of it, but I thought it was just for hand sewing maybe. And I don't, I haven't been hand sewing the last couple days, so because I was gone and I didn't take anything with me for sewing. I should have. I probably would have made a ton of blocks with all the sitting I did and wasting time. Let's see, Angela Walters' shop isn't very far from me, just 20 miles, but until the virus things is relaxed, I can't go up there. Oh man, I want to go meet her. Garden gloves, took off the tips, and the mechanic gloves. Isn't that just for cotton thread, Marlene? I watched the show too. Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering. I don't think it's for polyester. Polyester is already like a smooth sheen type thread. I thought it was cooking. On my even the binding, I'm going to be a challenge, Amy. Every time I went to get those gloves, they were out of them. I stopped checking her site, Angela Walters. So yeah, mine were sent to me as a gift, which are amazing. So I love them. I recommend them. Hi Donna. Just checked my email and saw you were on. Nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get this done. Even though I don't feel good and I'm having issues, and I came back from my little mini vacation this weekend and I was like, I'm going to finish the quilt on the frame and I am going to bind it and get it done. So I decided to do this today. Hung out with you guys, show you how I make my tags. You know, you guys can do those kind of things. Oops. Sorry, guys. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later because this quilt is heavy. That's not supposed to happen. Please don't give me a thumbs down because that happened. Let's move you guys more right here, maybe. I'm hoping that this angle. Okay, hold on. Let me get it refocusing. Refocus. Okay. I don't want to knock this off again, so. Oh, great idea. How about this? Hold on. Knock it off. I'm just going to put you guys up on my stand that is off the table. So it's a little bit further away, but there we go. That way I don't knock it at all. I forgot that I have a tripod stand for flat surfaces. All right. There we go. It's focused. I just hipped it. Dang. I realized I gotta plug it in. Give me a second so I can plug this beast in. Sometimes that happens. I drop the stupid thing. It wasn't the stand, it was actually the quilt that knocked it off. All right, there we go. So you guys got to go flying on the floor, and Steve, I think you were facing the ceiling for a second. I'm not sure. All right, now I can actually wrangle this thing and not worry about it knocking the camera down. I should have just done this in the first place. Maybe it wouldn't be so strenuous on me. There we go. Look at that. Much better. I'm dizzy now. So you also went to the Grand Canyon. Well, all did you do? Well, the Grand Canyon was closed, so I couldn't do anything. We took pictures. We hung out. We had CJ just went on a mini trip. That's it. I'll post picture. I'll make a picture video as soon as I get a chance. I haven't had time to really. Obviously, I have sat down. I have time to sit down and do things. I just haven't played with videos or photos or anything like. I haven't even showed Scott all the photos of the outer skirts of the Grand Canyon since they were closed. So we went 2 days in a row because the sign said it had an M. It was written in such small writing, so when you drive by, we really thought it either said Monday the 18th, which was Monday 2020, and or May because it had an M. But when we finally went back the next day, we pulled up really close to the sign and it says March 18th. That was the date that the Grand Canyon closed. They really need to change that to say, instead of saying any kind of date, they need it to say closed permanently until further notice, because that's what the guy said when we talked to the park ranger. So that was a waste of a trip, unfortunately. But it was fun, so it wasn't really a waste. We had fun. We took pictures. We hung out. We ate lots of junk food because you really can't eat much when you're on the road. And lots of driving. And a lot of, like, I guess that's not hiking, but I did get out and move around a lot more than I should have. And it was so very, very windy, which was making me cough a lot. I was coughing to the point I was gagging because I couldn't get up. You know, what's in my lung is really bothering me. So I couldn't get anything up and it was bothering me. Oh, it was absolutely 100% insane. But I got out of the house, which is, I needed that. I needed Zen, and I couldn't go into the Zen mode because the Grand Canyon was closed. And for me, that view, that area, it's so beautiful. You just feel relaxed, at peace, and you just feel amazing. And I didn't get that complete experience that I was hoping for. But I did hang out with my son and we watched lots and lots of movies during all the sit time. You know, so we had fun. I don't think you need to oil polythread. I do my cotton, but that's just me. I thought Six Flags opened for a few minutes and I realized we were on the floor. How funny. I used my dining room table. Was the Grand Canyon closed because of the virus? Yes. Okay. This is what I understand. I'm just going to want a little rant right here. Why are national parks closed, like the Grand Canyon and Yellowstone and stuff like that, during this virus? Okay. Why? They want you to get out and still exercise during this virus outside alone, 6 to 10 feet away from people, right? When a family goes to visit the Grand Canyon, 2, 3, 4 people, like a mom, a dad, and some kids, they go to the Grand Canyon. They don't actually go and socialize with the other families of the Grand Canyon, so I don't get it. Why did they close the national parks? Because nobody is even within 40 feet of each other, you know? You go and you walk around. I've been to the Grand Canyon. You walk around all these areas. Nobody is within 6 feet of each other ever the whole entire trip. You know what I'm saying? And the families are with the families. The disease, this pandemic, is not airborne. It's close contact from hands touching face and coughing and sneezing. You know, it's the spit of us, and then it touches someone else and whatever. The spit of someone that's, you know, sick or whatever. So why did they close the national parks? I don't understand it. I was really kind of mad. I was hoping they'd be open because the government wants you to get out and exercise. So what, they want me to walk outside in the heat here when it's 110 degrees? I mean, seriously? Why can't we go to the national parks and hike and go on whatever, on trails and stuff? They still have people working. The Grand Canyon had people working down there. You know, they had the park rangers. And they were wearing masks when they're up to people, but that was only when we drove up into the car. He put the mask on and then came and talked to us, you know? So why not? You know, I don't get it. Why did they close it? That to me was the most retardedest thing ever. I mean, we're all cooped up in our house, but when most states are now open, we can't go to the Grand Canyon, we can't go to Yellowstone, we can't go to Niagara Falls. I mean, we can't go to anything. That's just dumb. So rant over. I just don't get it. It's outdoor stuff, you know, and they want you to exercise. So everybody's sitting around being lazy and their families are getting tired. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. It's right there. You know, I live in northern Arizona. The Grand Canyon is right there, 200 miles away. So I don't get it. Why is it closed? I can understand Vegas being closed and the casinos being closed because, yeah, machines are like literally right next to each other. But the Grand Canyon? Seriously? Okay, I gotta stop because I'll end up on forever. So anybody that's some kind of worldly person who works for the government and you see this video, I think it's dumb that the parks are closed. Makes no sense. No sense at all. We need to exercise. We need to feel good, and it's definitely, those views make you feel amazing. You know what I mean? It takes your mind to a place that you stop thinking about everything that's going on in the world, and it's zen. It makes sense, you know? It's so beautiful. It's just something that should not be closed. They shouldn't have closed it. There's no purpose. Families congregate with other families unless the whole family in a, you know, like 5 different RVs came for a whole whatever vacation. But you should still be able to, even though the park rangers are still working, everybody has a cell phone. Cell phones kind of work down there. Not really, but they kind of work down there. They should be able to go in and, you know, enjoy some peace and quiet and serenity and clean, fresh air, even though it was windy as heck. You know, oh, look at this. I'm not going to even get all this binding on here. So that's cool. I'll have some binding left for, I don't know what. Okay, let's see. I go just a little bit further. I'm loving the new use for ruler storage. Cool beans. Oh, behind me? Yeah, it's been like that since I set this room up. I'm gonna change it though sooner or later. I'm gonna get myself a pegboard when I can afford it. They're kind of expensive. Okay, so this part is so different, and I know you can see because you can see my table. This requires barely anything because all we are doing is making a 1/4 inch seam. Scissors. So I'm going to lay this flat. This is so simple to do when you're doing straight seam binding like what I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to cut a straight line right there. I'm going to make sure it's laying nice and flat. I'm going to come down here, laying this over here, and I'm going to just cut by eye. You guys can use a ruler. You can just take the ruler like this and put it over a 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to do a little bit more than a 1/4 inch because it's going to stretch and pull anyway. So I'm going to come right here, lining that up at the 1/4 inch line there. And I'm going to slide my scissors down and cut. Now I'm just going to go ahead and sew these two together straight edged. I'm just going to put them right sides together and sew. And look, I have enough to do a whole nother quilt. Look at that. Pre-made binding. I love when I have pre-made binding from everything. All right. So let's move that there. Just going to put these two right sides together. I don't even have to worry about any angles or anything. I'm just going to hold them right sides together. If I can open it up just like this. So normally we don't do straight binding. Nobody does usually, but for projects like this and what I'm trying to accomplish with the look, I'm having a straight binding. So I'm going to hook these together just on the straight line. Okay, come on, stay. I kind of sewed really close on accident. So I barely have any room to move this piece around. Slide it under the foot. I'm also going to change my stitch length back the way it was. And I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. That is it. That's how simple the straight the straight binding attaching are. Just like that. And then you finger press the seam to the dark or whatever side you want it to. Did I? Yeah. Oh, I see. I have been pressing these open. That's why. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up with my fingers and press the seam open. Sometimes I just press it to one side when I do it like this, but this I did open. I probably made a video, that's why, to show you guys. Then I fold it in half and put it back on. Change my stitch length back the way it was and attach. Bam, just like that. So it's the same thing. Quick cut, quick sew, except you don't have to worry about lining it up on an angle. And everything lines back up perfectly. And the other side folds just the same. So when I go to fold this over, it's not lumpy or anything. It's just the same when you come across any other seam. So let's fold this over and sew some area that has a lot of color so that you can see.
Come on, bed.
Oh, well.
Did you want me to, wait, you said none?
I'm just going to sew the corner so they can see it, and then I'll get off the video.
I don't care if you're on the video. You can be on the video while I'm sleeping. But I wanted me to open windows.
Oh, why am I putting it on this side? No, not right now, because I'm in here and I need the air circulation.
Okay.
Just
The
wait.
AC is not coming on because it's cooler outside.
well,
so there
just-
is no air circulation.
Just leave it for now, please.
Okay.
Just leave it on. I'll open everything in a minute when I'm done. Okay, so flip this around. I'm gonna move my little magnety thing out of the way. I'm also gonna change my stitch length. I'm gonna sew around this whole area corner real quick so that I can show you what it looks like, and then I'll finish the rest off camera. Okay, so let's pull this up here. Just gonna pull it around like this. I'm gonna do same as I always stitch, right next to the edge. And see, I didn't have to worry about if this was a 2.5 inch binding or not, because it does not matter. Let's get this up here so it stays. So I get around this corner. And then I'll show you guys, because I'm already worn out anyway. So I'm pushing through. That's what I do. I push through. So you sew it on just like any other button, piece or not piece. Now the camera can't fall, so that's a good thing. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Looks nice. And sometimes when I come across wild threads, I snip them. Oh, this is going to look so awesome. Oh, I'm loving it. I was loving it when I made the binding and said that's what's going to go on this quilt because it matches all the colors in the quilt. It's the leftover cut pieces from this quilt. And I'm using the same color as the whole quilting and everything purposely because it's piece, so it really doesn't matter. The green thread ran through the whole entire quilt anyway. So it looks really awesome. Sometimes I have wild threads, just pull those out. So don't be afraid of a straight pieced binding because it goes on just the same. It doesn't have any problems. I've never had any problems. I just do my best to try to make sure that seams don't end up in the corner. That's the one that I try to pay attention to, is seams in the corner, because I really don't want that. It's easier to lay a 45-degree angle seam into a mitered corner than it is a straight seam, but I can do it. So could you, if it happens that way. So I'm coming up to my mitered corner now. That's what I'm working on. So I'm going to go really slow. Take stitch in, take stitch out. There we go. Turn it. And start stitching down this side. So I'm going to stitch just a little bit down, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like right here in the corner so you can see what the piece binding will be looking like. Because it's really, really cool. And then I'll read comments and then get going. I just have to take my med. Not yet. This thing just does not want to stay. So heavy. More? Okay. Let's do a little bit more. Sometimes I get in that mode where I feel like I'm on a roll. I'm like, I can't stop now. I'm on a roll. Whether I feel like crud or not. It's like, just go, Tiffany. Keep going. I'm pretty sure you guys have that too. Just keep going. Just don't do it when you're really, really super tired, because I've sewn through fingers and messed up, or I did it really, really tired with a migraine, and came back the next day and looked at my work, and I was like, what was I doing and why? And I looked really, really dumb. So yeah, don't do it when you're really super tired or have like a really headache where your eyes are like unfocused and blurry and you're like straining to sew. But I get to that point where I'm like, this is the last step. This is the last step. I really like, I should just keep going maybe. I don't know. And I'm already on camera, so you can see the whole thing when it's finished, you know. It's really, really, really big. Like I said, it's 88 by 102. And it will be for sale for anybody that's interested. Don't have a complete price yet because I got to go into my receipts and stuff. I keep all my receipts for everything that I do. And even if it's from almost 2 years ago when I made this, I still keep all my stuff for it. So, and then I give a rough estimate for YouTube video quilts, which we talked about on Sunday. So if you want to own a quilt by me, go look at my video until I can get it on here. Just really sketchy about putting it on here, thanks, because I'm, a monetized YouTuber. I don't make any money monetized, but the fact of the matter is I am, so I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to, whatever. I might name it something though. Sell them like as if it was a trunk show, I guess. We'll see. That way, those of you who don't have Facebook or don't go on Facebook can see what I have for sale. I'll have to read the comments in a minute. Kind of can't tell. I know you guys are probably talking about things like I could see going to the beach this weekend, looking forward to getting out of the house. Were the beaches closed too in California? I mean, my aunt, she lives in California, so she told me that everything was closed. So I think that's retarded. If everybody just stays away, it's not like, I don't know. It makes no sense to me why anything outdoorsy would be closed. Like I can understand the playground part of the park, but why the actual whole entire park where there's grass and area for children to run and, you know, or for families to go and play volleyball or, you know, things like that. I don't understand it. Why would that have been closed? It makes no sense, you know? People to get out and do things and not be insane. You're not spreading the illness being out, enjoying your family when your family, everybody in your family you've been around, so you're good. Yeah, I don't know. The beaches were closed. See, that's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why. It makes no sense. I can see certain businesses like tattoo shops because it deals with bodily fluids, and why the salons were closed because salons, you're really upfront and close with that person. But I don't know. Grocery stores were packed with people, more people than the parks and stuff like that. So I mean, seriously, you stand more of a chance contracting the coronavirus in the grocery store than you did going to the Grand Canyon like I did. Like seriously, or going to a park and running out on a baseball field or something, you know? I don't know. It's just dumb. Got close, but it's still good. I'm just gonna keep going because I'm already on a roll, guys, instead of stopping. I've already gone down 2 sides, so, well, I got 2 mitered corners done, is what I mean. So that means I only have 2 left to do. So when I'm on a roll, I might as well just keep going. Probably super late for all of you guys. It's 11 p.m. here. Keeps falling. It's making it grab. And then it causes me to so crooked and not have a straight line. I want straight lines. This is definitely a 2.5-inch border, I'm pretty sure, because that's what it feels like. With the folding over part, I can tell it's kind of wide. Twin Falls. Some salons here are open, but only a few people at a time requiring masks. Yeah, that's what they are here. I don't think anything else is like tattoo shops and like other mom and pop businesses are open. I think my quilt shop was open this whole entire time. That one came really messed up. Give me 2 seconds to pop this out. The quilt is so heavy, it's pulling to the side a little bit. Made my stitch not straight, and I don't like that. I like it nice and straight. much better. Okay. Snip thread. Oh, I got thread shedding from the bobbin. Ugh. Okay, seems to be good so far. Just that little area right before where I clipped off. So awesome, guys. Oh my god. Can't wait to hold it up and show you how this looks. Like, this is really cool. I am glad that back when I made this, that I made what I made, because this looks really awesome. I definitely like how this is coming out. And I'm glad I made the decision I made when putting it together. Using all those leftover pieces. 2 more sides. Well, technically 1.5, because I have to do this whole side and the other one was the start side. So. These here are open but limited capacity and masks required. Wow. We don't have a zoo here. We have Arizona is close, I think. And there's another one that's not a zoo, but it's like a, an animal sanctuary up in beyond Valentine, Arizona. I forgot what it's called. Oh my god, what is it called? Been there several times. I forgot what it's called. Whatever it is, it's really cool. Really cool place. It's like a zoo, but it's not a zoo. It's an animal sanctuary for like wolves and lions and bears and those kind of things. And no things like hippos and stuff like zoos have. There's ostriches, and I think they even had a couple camels when I went there last time. And lemurs and things like that. Hi, Anne. Finding that is stunning. So I will hold it up as soon as it's only open her mouth, something like that, but minimum hours, curbside crazy. Yeah, I think that's what our Joann's is doing. Well, we don't have a Joann's, but the one that's far away from me that I can go to, they're doing curbside. There's no point in me driving all the way there to do curbside pickup when I like to see and touch my fabric in person. So I haven't actually ordered anything being in quarantine except for the backing fabric to work on all these quilts that I've been doing to get done. Everything. Scott did buy me fabric for Mother's Day from him and CJ. Some jelly roll things that I'm gonna make some stuff with. Oh, hi, Linda. I'm loving that green. It's beautiful, isn't it? Like I don't like some greens, but this is definitely a really, really pretty green, and I'm glad how this one is coming together. Okay, so I'm coming close to my tag now. So it's gonna be a lot thicker because it's double, it has double interfacing in the tag because I did the writing on both sides. So it's gonna be a little bit thicker when I go over it. But that's good that I did a 2.5 inch binding. I'm pretty sure that's what this was. Okay, here it is. So I'm gonna make sure it's laying flat. I don't want it to fold around because then that will mess everything up. And I don't want that. I'm gonna go nice and slow over it so that nothing folds underneath. Alright, coming to my mitered corner, and then I only have half of the side to do, and then this is done. So I'm kind of glad that I stayed on to finish because there's not really much left. Come on. Hold on. I had to mess up real quick. Sorry, the thread started messing up. I had to stop for a second. Trying to wash it all at the same exact time. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later while I was on. All right, let's do this. Okay. All right, just half this side is all I have left to do. Not even half, quarter of it. And I'll be done. Oh man, don't come apart completely. It's like I have OCD when it comes to trimming my threads and making sure everything's good. I'm pretty sure you guys do too, though. It's not just me. It's a quilter thing. I'm trying to make sure everything's sitting correctly. It's so heavy, so heavy. Almost there. Almost there. I sound better probably in the mornings, and like really, really late at night, I do not sound good. I am really, really raspy. But unfortunately, I can't do nothing about it. Every single day, I hack up more and more and more of whatever my lung is trying to clean out. I don't know. It's really nasty. I'm just gonna double hand this shit stuff. Sorry, I cussed. Didn't mean to. I'm here right at the start now. Literally like 8 inches to go. This will just stay. You know? It'll just stay. I don't have much longer. I'm right here at the end. Literally. Come on. Snip my beginning thread. Right on into it. So it lines up, back stitch, snip, and I finished it. Look at that, yay. I'm glad I just went ahead and stayed on video for this, guys. All right, now I got to figure out how to show you. So we're going to turn this and I'm going to make sure that the screen is okay. So there's the tag. It's thick since there's the 911 in there. So it's really thick. So when it gets washed, it shouldn't do anything. And it's also extra stitched down because when I stitch the binding, you guys know that it leaves that extra stitch all the way around the back because I don't hand sew. So by machine, it never matches up with the fold over of the binding. So let's pull up the stitched area. Look at this pieced binding. Oh, look at that. It's so adorable. Can you guys see that? I'm loving it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So let me stand back and do my best to hold it up. Look at how that corner came out. And the back side is absolutely awesome because it is black, you know, like it's like it just looks really, really cool. So just wait for it. Let me turn the camera a little bit more. Trying to figure out which way is top and which way is the bottom. All right, let's turn the camera right here, go up a little. Let me make sure my screen is, my room is a mess. Don't mind it because I haven't really been doing piling junk in here. All right. It's a queen. Here it is. There we go. I can't get it to stay out. Can you see that? Oh yeah. Further down. That binding though, you guys, can you see from far away? Look at that. Doesn't that look so awesome? It's all pieced. And it's straight seam pieced, so don't be afraid to try that. And then from the back, there's threads everywhere. So if it looks messed up quilting or something, it's just because it's loose threads that it's picking up from everywhere. So the back, look at with the pieced binding from the back side. Look at that. Doesn't that look so cool? Oh, that looks so awesome. And my quilting. It's probably sloppy. It is sloppy. This is sloppy, just me messing around because that's what I wanted to do. So let me go along it. Like I said, this is a very heavy quilt. Very heavy. This piece binding, I'm like absolutely amazed by it. Like when you look from the front side, like it just looks so cool. So cool. I am so glad I decided to do that when I made this originally. So, yep, that's it. It's 88 by 102. It probably shrank a little with the quilting, so it's probably like 87.5 by 101 and a half or something. my quilts don't really shrink much with the quilting. They shrink with the washing part. So they shrink about an inch with the washing. And it's heavy. This is like probably 10 pounds. It's not probably 10 pounds. It is, it's most likely 10 pounds. This is a really, really heavy one. And there we have it. Bam, done. All right, let's turn this camera over this way so we can chat for a second and I can read some comments. Because this whole entire time I kind of been sort of ignoring you guys. All right. All right, let's see what we got going on. I'm going to scroll really far up real quick. I'm just going to read them. I'm not going to read them out loud. I'm kind of read through and see if anything is missed. Okay. Teresa out of that. I saw that. How funny was used your misleaders. I repair to beaches. 3 smack to mix with that because I barely opened. I'd be so snap. Most likely, where are you? Party lake nearby. Everyone got virus in all different countries. What a mess. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one. So it's 12:56 there. Really need a haircut. This country is shut down. Barely lifted in 5 countries above the US, just minimal. Sister lives in the Bay Area, still closed due to mass capacity. Joanne's 100 miles minimum. Okay, I read that. Restaurants, bar open. You know, that one thing that I did notice is bars are open. I don't drink. I don't really see no point in drinking. So anybody that drinks, I mean, it's not aimed at you, but I don't see the point in drinking and spending money at a bar. I mean, if you're going to drink, buy it at the store and then go home and drink. I know it's for socializing for bars and stuff, but I honestly do not see the point. The bars finally opened. Everybody went this whole entire over a month without going to a bar. I mean, all these people went all that time without going to a bar. Soon as the bar was open, like when me and CJ were coming back into town, there were so many cars at the bar, like so many cars, and you have to wear masks still if you want to be safe, right? So how do you drink your alcohol through a mask? I don't get it. I mean, they were crowded, so crowded. Like those there was more cars I seen than I ever see when on a normal life bar thing. And people are out there spending their stimulus checks, I guess, at the bars because there's nothing else better to do. I understand socializing, but seriously, they just opened and they are so crowded. So I don't drink, so there's no need for me to go to a bar, but I just thought it was kind of weird that as soon as bars open, they're like overly packed, like packed more than capacity. It looked like their parking lot was more than capacity because people were parked out on the street. But still, I think it's kind of dumb. It's where everyone went straight to. Well, at least the young people, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there's old people there. I don't know. But nothing against anybody that drinks. I don't drink and I see no point in it. I like this quilt even better now. So Terry remembers when I first started doing this. Campaign, lots of donations to my Walmart's out of fabric. Our Walmart was out of fabric. Oh my God. When I went there was like 3 bolts of stuff that I wouldn't have even bought. Like even if it was just to make donation quilts, it was kind of ugly. But yeah, there was nothing, not even a fat quarter. The whole entire fat quarter, there was no sewing machines in the sewing machine aisle. The thread was barren. Like there was some thread, but not anything that you could use, like not sewing machine type thread. I mean, it was empty. So that's going to be weird for a while because it's going to be a while before they restock it's all gone, you know. So true, didn't intend the question mark, not into much green, but something like this is gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, I'm not a green person either, but this quilt, I don't know what it is. It just looks amazing. Sure is. Went to Meniere's again the other day. Mask Bible can carry, appreciate, but the customer pitched a huge fit. Binding makes it gorgeous. Love it, love it. Okay, I'm gonna skip all the love it, love it, love it. I'm glad you guys all love it. I love it too. I'm like excited. This one came out really cool. Did you make it for someone? No, this is for sale. Love it, love it, love it. I don't have a price just yet. I have to go through my receipts. So, and then I'll put together a more roundabout price. Like most queens start at $450, which we had the discussion on Saturday or Sunday. So Sunday, most of my queens start at $450. But depending on the thread that I used or whatever I used or the extra added work or stuff, that's what changes my price. So It's going to be after that price. It's not going to be $450, but it'll be after, but it won't be more than $550. You know what I mean? So, but it'll be for sale. You do those swirls on a domestic? Yes, you can. I have a video actually of swirling big swirls like this on a domestic machine. Do you pre-wash your fabric? No, I don't pre-wash. Some fabrics I do pre-wash, some I don't. It just depends. There are some times that I've gotten fabric as a donation and it smelled like smoke. Nothing against smokers. I'm a smoker, but I don't smoke indoors. I've never smoked indoors. That's one thing I've never done. I actually do not like the smell of cigarettes. I don't even know why I smoke, but it's an addiction. So I've always smoked outside. So all my quilts are pet and smoke free. I mean, I have to say mostly pet free because you guys have seen my cat come in my room, but he doesn't lay on fabric. He doesn't lay on my quilts. So they are pet free. This room is pretty much pet free and it's vacuumed all the time. So when he does, he's shaved right now. So he's not even, there's no way to shed. But yeah. But sometimes I pre-wash if a donation has pet hair, lots of it, because my cat will come straight for it. He'll smell it from outside that door. He will. He's just crazy like that, and or smoke. So I have to wash it. So some of my fabrics are pre-washed. Okay, Sue Ann left. So good night to Sue Ann. So do you use specific bedding when you don't pre-wash? No, I just use a polyester cotton blends usually, and or 100% polyester, and or the 100% cotton shrinks too much. So if you did not pre-wash your fabrics to make a quilt and then you use cotton batting, 100% cotton batting, your shrinkage is going to be really weird. The batting will shrink your pre-washed fabric. So when you use cotton, I know this makes no sense, right? So if you buy cotton, 100% cotton batting, don't pre-wash your fabrics because you want it all to shrink together, because you're going to have a different shrinkage rate than your already shrunk top, your quilt top and your backing. When you pre-wash and then put in cotton batting, you're going to get a really, really, really super wrinkled quilt because that batting, that 100% batting is going to shrink because it really has a really high shrinkage rate. When I have quilts like that, I use 80/20 and or a 100% polyester batting because that shrinkage level goes down, and 100% polyester has less than 3% shrinkage. Some of them have no shrinkage at all, and you don't get that crinkly look. It stays flat like what this looks like now. Just the cotton itself will shrink just ever so slightly. It's not really huge, but the batting is polyester, so it affixes to that itself. You know what I mean? It still keeps everything pretty flat looking, if that makes any sense. I hope that made sense. I'm trying to explain it like that. Yeah, same with yard sale too. Same. I wash yard sale stuff. I never wash pre-cuts and I never wash like fat quarters or anything like that. There's no purpose, but I do have pre-washed fabric in my cut bin because I pre-washed it when it came from a yard sale or a thrift store or donation, and I turned it into my pre-cuts, which you guys know I have tubs and tubs of pre-cuts. So some of it's washed, some of it's not, but I don't think it really matters because they're small squares and the shrinkage rate's going to be it's not very much. It's probably like 2% when it comes to 2-inch square together. It's not going to be much of a shrinkage rate, even if some are already shrunk. That's after one, not tired yet. Beautiful quilt. I wash as soon as the project is finished. Yeah, I usually try to wash, especially if I'm sending them to family, to make sure nothing happens, especially with the color catchers. Like, I don't want to send I make a quilt for a family member with whites and reds and then wash it and then wash it before me washing it and then wash it, and all of a sudden they have a pink and red quilt. So I make sure I do all the washing for stuff like that first. Things like this is really not going to bleed much because the only dark fabric is the black, and the black that I buy from Walmart, the Waverly, it really doesn't bleed. I mean, it has a couple times, but that's because I used a white, like snow white color white. And I had, I think it was like a really weird pinkish color. I don't remember. It's called lipstick or something. I had that in the quilt and another color. And I think that's the combination of the black with those is why it kind of made it look more gray. The white was looking a little bit more gray. It was still white, but it had like a grayish tint to it. Okay, let's see. I smell if the fabric has been stored in a bin or bag. I can smell that too. Vinegar. I use vinegar in all my washes, and those beads, those downy softener beads. Yeah, I like obsessed with those. I love them. I even put them when I wash the quilts, when I do the washings. But some of my quilts, like the ones I sell and make in tutorials, I don't really get to wash all of them. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. I don't have a big washer, so I have that center agitating thing. So it's really hard to put these bigger quilts in it, but I'm gonna still wash this anyway. Same years ago, barely smoked outside, washed my hands instantly, hate the smell. That's why I stopped. Yeah, it's taken me a while, Kathleen. And the doctor hasn't pushed it any quit smoking on me, so that's a good thing. I mean, and then the when he did say it, he didn't push the quitting. He just said, you know, quitting instantly, just like stopping altogether. It's going to make it worse because my cough will get worse and I'll start hacking stuff up, and it might make my symptoms worse. So if I'm going to stop or quit, this is why he hasn't pushed it, it needs to be eased off. So if I smoke, say 7 a day now, then in a week I should start smoking 6 a day, and then in a week from that 5 a day until I'm quit. So it's taking a little bit of time. I will get there. I will get there. I go hours though without cigarettes, like you guys. I'm here right now and I've been on here for quite a while. I go hours without cigarettes. It's no big deal. I mean, I don't smoke in my car, so I went my whole trip driving hours upon hours, and I don't know. But I'm an outside smoker. It's no big deal. Never smoked, allergic. Married to a heavy smoker for 30 years. Took a huge toll. I'm depressed because it's dirty. Sharing fabric is usually sensitive to smells. That's my problem. I'm sensitive to smells. That's why. Like, and it's an MS thing. Some of the smells that I'm sensitive to are things that other people absolutely love the smell of, but hate the smell of other things. So like we can't mop our floor with any pine. I don't like the scent of any pine cleaners or lemon cleaners, which I can't touch it anyway because they're usually made with natural lemon and I'm allergic. But I don't like the smell of pine cleaners. But if I went to California around pine trees or Oregon or anywhere there's pine trees, I don't mind the smell. But the pine wash cleaning stuff itself is absolutely disgusting. I don't like air fresheners, you know, like Glade or those little air fresheners that you spray. I don't like them. I don't like Febreze. I don't like none of it. Perfume, I absolutely can't stand perfumes. I can tell if somebody is heavily perfumed by the smell of the fabrics that I get donated because it's on the fabrics. It's the weirdest thing. I really just, I'm absolutely 100% sensitive to it. And when I smoke, I usually, in the summertime, I don't because it's really hot and the smell kind of just dissipates. But in the winter time, when it's cold and I'm smoking, I usually wear a special robe and then the robe gets left outside. That way it doesn't get the smell on my clothes. I'm not that much. I hate it that much. And I wash my hands and sanitize and so on and so forth because I just can't stand it. I don't use any scented stuff in my wash because it can set a reaction. Anything that smells very strong. That's why I like the downy beads. They don't smell super strong. They have a clean, like the smell of clean linen. You know, that's the smell I use. There's a couple other downy bead smells I don't like, but the clean linen one smells just fine. Thank you. Was worried about pre-wash with blues and whites. I would pre-wash if you're going to use like a really navy blue, pre-wash. If you're going to use a red or dark maroon color, and then there are a couple pink colors. Like I said, the one that I've noticed so far, it's not Waverly brand, but I did buy it at Walmart, and it is called Lipstick. That did bleed. And then there is a couple, I've even got a dark gray before, called Charcoal. It's Walmart Waverly, and it bled, but it didn't bleed a lot. And so most of the time I use darks in all my quilts anyway. I don't have any problem with using batiks and my blacks. There's no bleeding at all on any batiks and blacks mixture. even if they're light colored batiks. I've never had a bleeding problem with that. It's mainly just reds, and it's not just Walmart brand. Moda does the same exact thing. It bleeds. And then there's another brand that you can buy at Joann's of solids. They bleed the worst. Country Classics. Those bleed the worst. Those, and they're really thin. I don't really like those as much, but they're cheap. So, I mean, and they have colors that the Waverly don't, and they have colors that Moda don't. So, I mean, it depends on what you buy. So, you'll do it, Tiffany, just don't stress. Okay, the color finish, several color. Yeah, I use color catchers in every quilt, even if it's going to bleed or not. This one I'll probably put 2 color catchers in because I don't think it's going to bleed. Okay, wash it. Lemon scented. Can't do lemon scented cleaners at all. Absolutely no way for me. Me too. Get a headache. The smell of old perfume. Oh my God, ew. I love perfume. And my mother-in-law, I told you guys already, I love her to death, but she wears old lady perfume. Nothing against old ladies. She wears what I call old lady perfume. It's like, I don't know if she had this stuff back in 1965 or something, and still wears it to this day because it was her absolute favorite. But I don't give. It stinks. It is rank smells. And I tell her, I've told her before. She says, "Well, I didn't spray it on me." I says, "Your clothes smell like it. You sprayed it on one thing, and then you washed it, but the smell never went away. You hung it in your closet, which touched another item. That item smells like it because you put it on the next day." She doesn't get it. Some people don't understand. The smell from one thing spreads to another. That's why if you put a shirt, I'll just use an example, smoking. Say you smoke and the shirt smells like cigarette smoke, and you put it in a tub. Even if it's been washed, it still smells like, if you didn't wash in vinegar or any kind of specialty stuff, and you just threw it and washed with some soap and put it through the dryer, it's still going to smell like smoke. Then you put it in a tub because you're putting, say, your winter clothes away for the winter, and you stick it in a tub, and then that tub sits while it's summertime. All the clothes in that tub will smell like smoke when you pull them out. It's the same with perfume. It's the same with certain cleaners. When I store stuff, I put dryer sheets in between everything. So like in my bedroom closet, it's filled with dryer sheets. It's one dryer sheet in every single one of my like underwear drawer, my sock drawer, my shorts drawer, so on and so forth. I use dryer sheets. It completely takes away any kind of funky smells that are going to develop from even sitting in a drawer. All of my tubs of fabric that are outside, which you guys saw when I was showing you guys that one time, my garage tour, there is dryer sheets in every single one of those tubs. Most of that stuff, a lot of it's been washed. Some of it hasn't, but a lot of it has because it was donated. So just, some people are sensitive to smells. Some people are sensitive to other things. I guess the whole point of this conversation is when it comes to your quilting stuff, when you're making things, be considerate of someone else when you make something. Like, that's why I do smoke and pet free. Keep all my quilts away from anything and everything that can stink, because somebody that buys this might be sensitive to it, and I'm sensitive to things. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense for some people. I don't know. Have you ever had problems with Waverly? Nope. I don't have any problem. It shreds a little. I mean, it's not horrible. It's any other fabric shreds too. I've had lots of fabrics that shred. Unless you're buying pre-cuts that have pinked edges, but once you cut them, I've had tons of them. Like Kaufman, let me see, what's this brand? Right here. This is one of my next projects coming up. You guys get a pre-thing. This is Fabric Central. I have cut other Fabric Central fabrics up before, cutting them to make stuff with my pre-cuts. And as soon as I started sewing, the pre-cut was shredding. So, I mean, every single fabric shreds. Some of them shred more than others. Waverly shreds slightly, which would be this, because this is Waverly brand. So you guys can see that's shredding. It happens. But this has also been sitting around for over a year. This roll has been sitting around for a year, and that's all that it has shredded. So, I mean, and this is not all Walmart. The black is the Waverly. So look at, compared to the other, I mean, it's not horrible. I don't remember. I think this is a Benertex brand line. But yeah, it's not horrible. I don't mind it. I don't care. It's inexpensive, and it's stuff that I can afford. I can't afford a lot right now. We live on a very limited budget, which a lot of us do because we're on Social Security and or VA or you know, some kind of assistance, because a lot of us are older or retired. I'm not older or retired, but I am disabled. So, I mean, we all live off of some kind of limited budget. So I've had shredding with every single brand of fabric I've ever purchased. Old ladies don't realize that perfume goes bad. Exactly. And I know some of you are older probably thinking I'm going crazy. Yeah, I am, but it's true. Perfume does go bad. Even the perfume, like when I was younger, I wore perfume. I used to love the stuff that Rue 21 sold. Rue 21 does not exist anymore, but they had this perfume. I loved it. It was called Black. Oh my God. It smelled amazing. I don't know. The jar had sat and I moved and moved and moved. I stopped wearing perfumes because scents started bothering me more and more over the years. Moved and moved, and it kept getting thrown in a box under the sink. Took it out one day, like, I don't know, this was like 6 years ago. That means it sat for like 15 years, you know? Took it out and I went to spray it on myself and I was like, ugh. You know, it was just like, ugh. It's one of those smells that you're like, it was so beautiful at first, and now it's just absolutely just, it went bad. It smelled like something you buy at the 99-cent store, which I don't like perfume from the 99-cent store. That's whoever uses that kind of stuff, you're crazy, because that stuff stinks. Cherry, yes, the dye bleeds out when you wash. Yes. Okay, I worn once filled cigarettes left outside for months. Didn't work. I'm with you. On site tight budget, leery of pre-cuts, the higher cuts. And pre-cuts do cost more, but it's also convenience. Sometimes pre-cuts, even though it's just a little bit more, you're getting, okay, so like a jelly roll is 3 and a full quarter yards is what a jelly roll is. If you get 44, I think it's on the 40s, 40 strips. It's like 3 and whatever. And if you buy them a Tuesday morning, they are $19.95. If you buy them anywhere else, they're like $30. So it depends on where you purchase them. Tuesday Morning does sell Robert Coffin, Benetechs. They've had Andover prints. They get what they get and you don't throw a fit kind of thing. That I justify the price when I purchase from Tuesday Morning. But if I purchase from like Missouri Star, Jordan Fabrics, because I absolutely have to have something, you pay the price for it. Like, I'm going to pull this down real quick. These are Penny Rose prints. I've been saving these because they're so pretty, so pretty, right? Penny Rose fabrics. I paid $45 each, and I got 2 of these. I paid $45 for 2 jelly rolls each. They were $45 each. Only because I had to have it. The colors are absolutely beautiful. There's 40 pieces. My husband and I, 100%, I would never do this again. I would never purchase, but I also did purchase at a quilt show. I could never justify the price for this. Oh my God, like seriously, like I paid that much, but I did. It's because I had to have it. This line, I was obsessed with it. It is so beautiful. This line is absolutely gorgeous. And I have a couple other ones that I purchased that I absolutely had to have, but I'm never paying $45. I just go to the Tuesday Morning, and if I don't see what I like, then I don't buy it. You know, if they have something you like, buy it. You know what I mean? It's a hit and miss, but I don't see paying $45 ever again for a jelly roll. It's just not happening. But it's a beautiful line, and I had to have it. So someday I'll use it. It's still in the package. I haven't even took the wrapper off because I really just saving it for a special occasion. Whatever special pattern I find or design for it. I need $20 for 20 strips. Yeah. Well, I think Joann's kind of overcharges on their jelly rolls, on those little mini jelly rolls that they have. Yeah, I don't really get those ever. I love your work. You make me feel so happy while I'm dealing with my husband's cancer. Australian quilter. Aw, Jan, thank you. I'm sorry your husband has cancer. That sucks. So, hanging there, Teresa. I still see it eventually. I hope I'm wondering the same thing. What am I supposed to see? Did Teresa say something and I missed? What do you do when you get a quilt from a customer that has cat hair all over it? I have that. Where is it at? I use these. I have one on the long arm and then one in here. It's like you get them at the dollar store. I've had to buy millions of them because they end up breaking after a while. But I use these or rollers. It does affect me. I'm not allergic to cats, but If my cat smell, if I have to bring it in for the trimming part because I haven't been trimming in the garage, it usually gets cleaned with this. And then when I get anything with donations that has cat hair, it just stays outside because until it gets washed, because my cat would go absolutely, he smells, I don't know how he does it, but he can smell another animal on anything that is brought into this room from under the door. I don't know how he knows, and he goes straight to it. It's the weirdest thing, and he'll bat at it because he wants me to take it out. So yeah, I make sure that there's no pet hair on anything. So these things, they're the dollar store. One side wipes one way, the other side wipes the other way, and it gets the cat hair out. This is better than, these work better than the rollers. I even tried one of these. It's a gel roller. It's made of this weird gel. I don't know how to explain it. You can see it's really dirty because it's old, but it's a gel. And then you would roll it, and then when you're done, you rinse it under water. And yeah, this was like the worst purchase I ever made, but because it doesn't work like you think. But it's like, see, it's falling apart. It's old. It's like boogers. It's funky. And I don't think there's any more gel left on it. But yeah, it was a gel thing, and then you rinse it off. This was the worst purchase, but it did work at first until it got permanently dirty from constantly wiping fabric with it. So don't ever get one of those things. But these, the best, 99-cent store. Let's see. Let me scroll back down. So I'm hoping that was what I'll get to. Hi Jan, let's see, Jan, Tuesday morning usually has a lot of them. Yeah, I get everything. I love going to Tuesday morning, and my daughter works there, so I get her discount because she goes with me and does, you know what I mean, which makes it a little bit easier for me. I get to save 20% extra, unless they're having a special or a holiday special, then I get 40% off. Plus, I get the already sale stuff. So if I find fabric in the sale bin, which every once in a while there's a fat quarter bundle sets in the sale bin, which I bought like, I don't know, a couple months back, I bought some fat quarter bundles that were in the sales bin, and I got lucky on that because it was on in the sale bin on a day that my daughter had her 40% off, and they were already 70% off. So I got 70% off plus the other 40%. I paid like $1.50 or something like that, but it was pretty crazy. It was like almost free. I use a lot of Waverly, but I never had ink before. Love the color. Haven't washed it yet. I have a silicone brush that works great on wool dryer balls. I'll have to check Tuesday morning. Okay, thanks. Champs, the Benartech Sampler Club as well. Oh yeah. I have to say, Tiffany ladies, you've all been wonderful and kind and helpful. It's just a joy to chat and get to know you. God bless each one of you. Thank you, Kathleen. Benartech is one of my favorites too. Yeah, I like Benartech's brand. I have a lot of it too. Anyways, guys, all right, if there's no more comments, I'm going to hold this up for those that again. That's what the quilting looks like on the front. Like I said, this is like the super duper heavy quilt. I think this one and there's another one. Two of the quilts lately, two queen size ones were really heavy. All right, let's open this right here. There it is. Back up so that you can see the back. Solid black. The quilting, it's just swirls and little after a swirl, you still have to fill in empty areas. Instead of making back and forth lines, I like to make it look really cool. So it's like, and since this is very symmetrical, I wanted a non-symmetrical quilting on it. So that's what I went and done. So now I just need to throw it through the wash, and see, I have threads. I'm going to have to snip here and there because I tried to get it all. And I still have some more pieced binding left, so I can put some more binding on another scrappy project. So there's the binding, you can see. And on the back side, it looks super cool too, because it just comes out of that black. So that's that, guys. It was great hanging out. I don't get to do this much because I feel so tired and I feel so ill, and I have a lot of bad times, but I'm going to get back into my my zone. I need to get back on track. So, all right. Okay, she's never heard of now. Pat Salone's Bonnie Lane was produced by them. Be safe, all and be well. All right, guys. So, thank you all for hanging out. I enjoyed the company, and I will see you guys my next video. I won't know when exactly that'll be. I'm hoping I could get some more done, and I also got to put the video together from the Grand Canyon. So as soon as I get that, it's just going to be a picture video. There's only one little intro, and it's very windy, so I'm going to have to make sure I'm going to try to edit some of the sound of it, but it's going to be really hard because I'm not really good with editing. But I'll do my best. So if anything, I'll just delete that and say, here's a bunch of pictures of the Grand Canyon outside because you can't go inside. So Grand Canyon and Joshua Tree National Forest is what all my pictures are of. So, all right, guys. See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos and comment below if you must say something. Bye, everyone. Bam.